You might want to get a little closer so we can get our heads about the same size.
We are live, and that's Rudy Maxa for you right there.
There you go.
Joining us
you
from
want me to do the talking?
St. Paul.
You want me to do the introduction?
On the Mississippi River that's claimed to be in northern Minnesota.
Right outside my window, the mighty Mississippi River. It is, what is today? It's the 23rd, Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2023. And it's time to check in with some travel happenings with Tommy Danielsen, my partner in maxatours.com and other ventures. I'm Rudy Maxa. I'm a travel journalist and broadcaster, if it's the first time you're joining us. And we do this irregularly when news demands it, see what's going on in the travel world. Nice to have you with us. But keep in mind, we're doing this live Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. Just in case you're watching it later, consider our broadcast in that light. So what do you got, Tommy?
Exactly.
I think you've got an
We've got a lot to cover today, so let's get that going from the get-go. Let's start with the Japan Airlines. Aircraft orders has been kind of a little bit on the downslope in the last couple of years, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, COVID, yes.
The COVID has taken it off a little bit. It was reported early this morning, that Japan Airlines is ordering 21 737 MAX. It chosen the 737 MAX 8 model, which is the model that has 186 seats maximum in fleet renewal. So Boeing wins again in Japan. Didn't come much of a surprise. A lot better range and 15% less emissions than the current 737-800 one. So these are going to be used for domestic flights in Japan and also short haul flights to, areas like Korea and things like that. So that's the 737 MAX coming back to us right there.
Right. Okay.
All right.
I thought you had sort of an amusing thing to start. Were you going to amuse something pretty funny you told me today?
Yeah, I was reading the news this morning, and it seems like Florida is at a whole new level this time around, right? And let me bring I don't know what happened with the screen here, but the tab is the one we're going to be sharing. Let me go back in. Here we go. So it seems like Florida is off the hinges. So it's travel related. We don't talk politics at this show, but I thought it was interesting. Will you bring your kid to the Accademia Museum in Florence? I guess for kids who are in high school or in school in Florida, I guess that's out.
We can't look at Michelangelo's David because he's unclothed in his lower nether parts.
Right.
Unbelievable.
It came for me to so that's what's happening in Florida right now. Building in the swamp and high crime and all sorts of fun stuff and banning books and all that. But this was a new one. So the principal at a school in Florida, in Tallahassee, was fired because she showed a picture of one of the world's art masterpieces. In which I just find incredible. You remember, it came to think about, actually, one of my friends commented on, you remember Vigelandsparken, the park in Oslo?
Oh, yeah.
Where everybody's naked, a whole big park with naked people. I mean, this must be like the conservatives' nightmare, right? Look at all these naked people, breasts and wee-wees and pee-pees and all sorts. And look at this guy. He's even holding a kid on the back with his ding-dong hanging down there.
There should be something when Floridians enter the country of Norway to warn them not to go to that huge sculpture park.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because, I don't know, lightning will strike them or they'll go straight to hell or whatever's supposed to happen when you see these terrible things like Michelangelo's David. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's frustrating and funny, but also real and very disturbing, to be quite honest with you. I think that this is ridiculous. But moving on, we have a couple of things about United. We got a press release earlier this week that they are bringing a Whispering Angel Rosé wine, and and I saw a post on Facebook about this. It was Henry Hartevelt who was making a big stink about, oh, this wine is $19. La 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 la. It's like, I find it comical and funny when people are classifying wines based on what it costs. I mean, the rosé wines aren't really that expensive to begin with.
No, they aren't.
And this famous wine, though, it's been popular for a few years, right?
What's it called? I don't know it.
It's the Whispering Angel Rosé, is what it's called.
Oh, yeah. Is it really that expensive? Are they serving it only in business class, I presume?
Yeah, it's $20 per bottle is how much it costs.
Oh,
and,
well, what was Henry all? Yeah. Well, what was Henry all upset about?
He was like, oh, they're serving a $19 or $20 bottle of wine. Da, 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 da. It's like, that's so cheap. It's at the end of the day, I think
Target.
That all of the rosé wines that I find enjoyable, I like the Azure from Napa Valley. I think that's the one that kind of has me going at $27 right now. I think that's a good wine. But what's the name of that?
Was Henry flying internationally or domestically? Do you know?
This is internationally, and Henry wasn't flying. He just quoted the same press release as I'm quoting.
Oh, okay.
They're just made a big deal about this wine, and it was only $19, actually 21 right now. But
well,
anyways,
the question is, does Oscar the Grouch like it? Because Oscar Grouch has just been hired by United in order to
exactly. Let's find him. Where is Oscar the Grouch? There he is, first chief trash officer. Which to me feels like he should be in charge of United's catering. That has been, the ongoing joke. There was a joke made about a year ago. So United has catering that's been absolutely abysmal throughout the pandemic. It has been trash, like beyond unedible trash. And there's this sattar chicken, and sattar is a nice spice. It's an African spice, and it's used a lot in Mediterranean food and stuff like that. And the chicken is just, and all of a sudden, they just have been stuck in gear with that. So I thought the first time I saw it, the Department of Corrections in Illinois has now gotten Oscar the Grouch instead for being the first trash officer. I thought it was catering, but it's not. It has to do with sustainability, and their United has been doing a lot better. They have really stepped up and invested money in the future. They are renewing their fleet. They're ordering tons of new 787s. They are getting rid of the old stuff, and not quickly enough. But at the end of the day, they're going to put focus on sustainability.
Mixing a little French fry grease into their fuel lines is what Oscar the Grouch is supposed to represent. Their turn toward using renewable resources to fuel planes. It's a very, very, very small percentage of their fuel, but it's a start.
Yeah, 0.1%.
Right. But
it's not. I mean, everybody's saying that you're getting an electric car. The electricity might come from coal. Not where I live. Maybe I don't know how it is in Minnesota, but I don't think there either. But we don't have any coal in our power source. It's all about making the tiny difference you can make. If I can have solar panels on my house and my car being 100% driven by solar, that's a beautiful thing. That helps a lot. Right. But even if I only could do half of it, it doesn't matter. So 0.1%, I'll take that over not doing anything. I think United should be their mission, and the way that Scott Kirby has a bad reputation for many things, but one thing's for damn sure, he is doing great on the sustainability, and I kudos to him for that. So I think that this Oscar the Grouch move is cool.
And I also heard that to go back to what we were talking about, the Oscar the Grouch and the quality of the food at United, I think on March 1st they were supposed to start upgrading the food. I flew on United just the other day down to Puerto Vallarta, but I was in coach, so there were no meals. It was only a 4-hour flight. But
they spit on you.
Yeah, but I mean, Delta is still leading American and United in both the offerings in their clubs as well as their offerings on board for meal service. Both United and American have some catching up to do. Anyway, we'll see if
I
Oscar
think
the
that the
Grouch can.
lounges are pretty equal. I think United has the Polaris Lounge on international
Well, if
flights.
you can go to the Polaris Lounge, yes, it's good. It's very, very nice. But most people don't go to the Polaris Lounge because they're not flying first class internationally. Your average airport lounges that most of us can go to are Delta surely outshines United and American still. I checked on both of them just the other day. So,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
there you go.
I don't think anything's any of the terrible three. Is what I call United, American, and Delta. I mean, they literally have no competition. Flying in America, and
Right.
we talked a lot about last week about the pilot salaries that they're doing now, which is exactly the new. We're going around in circle here. I'm having deja vu to the last time they went bankrupt. All of them went bankrupt in 2009 to 2011. So they had to go back to we can't sustain these salaries, and now they're doling out $500,000 to their pilots. We talked about that last week though. All right, so from United and Grouchy to happiness.
There we go.
Is a happiness map. I think that the biggest surprise here is Finland is the #1 country this time.
Yeah. Yeah. They're always, I mean, Finland and the Scandinavian countries are always high up on the list. Is this the first time Finland's been #1 for a while, though?
Yeah, Finland is. I think Finland is. I love Finland. I think Finland is a great country. The people there are a little bit reserved, kind of.
Right.
It's a reserved people, and also it's a country, probably the country in the world with the least amount of immigrants, except for maybe Japan. I think that that's quite interesting. When a guy comes and picks you up in a taxi or any service, a waiter or the person cleaning your room, you won't see an immigrant doing that. They're all Finns doing it, which I think is interesting. But I find it kind of, so I think that it probably has to do with financial security. And which is why Scandinavians and Nordics in themselves. So Denmark at 7.6, Norway 7.3, and Sweden 7.4. It has to do with the way that the economy is run in those countries, that you have a safety net and when something happens to you. That's the best that I could think of. But then you're looking towards Japan, which is 6.1, which I don't understand. We see 6.9 in Germany, and we see the same for Switzerland, which probably is. Yeah, 6.9 in the U.S. I don't get that for a second.
7.0 in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, we put 0.1. I don't know how this is. That Japan is 6.1 versus 6.9. I find that extremely hard to believe. A country that has socialized medicine and that has great transportation, takes care of their citizens and that kind of stuff, and has safety nets for people versus that. I don't know. Maybe it's just rich people that are interviewed here in the U.S.
Well, we should probably explain to viewers who can only see the colors that the orange are the happiest places. So you see Australia, the United States, and Canada. Then it goes all the way down to dark blue for the most miserable. So you've got the orange, and then it sort of turns to sort of reddish, and then it starts turning bluish, and then it's purple, and So you can see Africa and some countries in South America, India, are not so happy. What's Russia coming in at? 5.7. We're at 6.9. Canada's at 7.0. So we're incrementally happier than Russia. That's something.
So. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know where to put this, to be honest with you. Just this.
These rankings, these are all self-reported measures, by the way. People were asked and surveyed. What was that other list we had? Oh, the world's best airports came out too.
I did see that. And I don't think that there were any more surprises here. Like Changi on top. And
it's always Asia. Yeah.
It all depends to me. I mean, at the end of the day, Changi is in Singapore is 10-15 minutes away from downtown. So if I were to do a layover, I don't know if I would go into the butterfly gardens, right?
Right, but if you have to kill time.
Or go to the pool or whatever the case may be. I mean, they have great lounges there. Singapore Airlines has the KrisFlyer Lounge, and I think that's probably more it depends. If you're there for a long time, I don't find the airport itself, with all the securities at the gates and the lines for immigration and things like that, to being any more of the most from an airport perspective. Yes, Changi offers a lot for fancy stuff, but I mean, at the end of the day, it depends what the frequent flyer wants to do, right? What do you do at the airport? Do you show up 4 hours early to go look at butterflies?
No, but sometimes I do show up early if I've got nothing else to do in that town, and I can work in the lounge, and I'll go see the butterflies. There's only one U.S. City was in the top 20. SeaTac in Seattle. The Seattle Tacoma Airport was the only U.S. airport in the top 20 of the world's best or world's favorite.
Yeah, I see that Charles de Gaulle is in 5th place. That just takes the credibility out of everything that's on this list.
Yeah, if you don't have to change if you don't have to change terminals, Charles de Gaulle's fine. If you got to change terminals, Katie bar the gate. Number 2 was.
I couldn't disagree with you more. Immigration lines are hours and still are long waits to get through immigrations in most cases.
No, I haven't been there.
If we were to look at the airport, so Hamad is like Qatar. They probably bought it like they do everything else. I don't find Hamad to be nice at all. These long. It's a new airport, right? There's these long piers. It takes you, in order to get to the center of it. We got a gate. Melinda and I, the last time we were there, we came from Africa in 2018 and going back to the US and we came all the way out, and we were in business class also, all the way out at the end of the pier going into the center is half an hour just to walk. So it was long. It took us to get out of the airport we were doing a overnight. We got in at like late at night, and we were going to the Marriott to stay overnight to then fly in the morning to LA. And it was far. It was not, again, it all comes down to what your needs are, what you want to do, right?
And what gate, in your case, what gate you come into too. I mean,
exactly. You see, also Tokyo Haneda, it's a very compact airport. I love that it's close to downtown. I have no problems with that airport. But then again, I'm not a guy who shows up hours before to sit at a lounge. The lounges are a little bit weaker there than they are at Narita, but
Well, Tokyo's number 3. Number 4 is Incheon in Seoul, Korea, which I like. I like that airport a lot.
I have no issues with that airport either. I can stand by that state. I don't know.
5 is de Gaulle. You've commented on that. I haven't seen the new Istanbul airport yet. Have you?
I have, and to me, it's also a massive airport with massive distances, and I try not to, we're going to talk a little bit later about that. Why you won't why you won't see me at Istanbul airport for a while. Next on the list is Munich, which is, they've just started a new pier. The problem with Munich, I think, is that even after they did a whole new terminal, you still are in buses about half the time there, right? So with what that comes with, and it's buses in and of itself is not off-putting, other than you have carry-on bags. In Germany, it's like, well, you shouldn't have your bags so heavy, so you have the bags, and then all of a sudden you're standing there, and always, it never fails, you have to walk downstairs in order to get on the bus.
Right.
And with that in mind, that's what irks me about it. When you arrive and you come down the stairs and you get on the bus, you're literally, they drop you off at luggage claim, right? Or in the center part of it. So there's a lot less walking and stuff. I don't see that as being a negative. The negative thing is up and down the stairs in the terminal when getting to and from on and off the bus, I think. Right.
That was Munich. Number 8 is Zurich. That's an okay airport, and
I love Zurich. Zurich has the best security the best security. The shortest security lines on average of any airport, I think, in the world. It is. I've never waited more than 3 minutes to get through there. And that actually, the longest wait I had was this Friday when we were flying last Friday from Zurich to back here, and it took me 3 minutes. It was a long wait.
Wow. Well, number 9 is the older airport in Tokyo, or outside.
No, it's not the older airport. It's the newer airport.
Narita.
It's the international one that's outside of the city. It's far.
Way outside the city. $100 cab ride years ago. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's not an airport that you cab to. Cabs in Japan is not the way to go. But you have the limo buses, and the train takes well over an hour. So very inconvenient in that sense.
Okay, 10 is
Then we,
Madrid, 11 is Vienna, 12 is Helsinki. That's about as far as we need to go, I think. Probably.
yeah, I think so. I just, what's your favorite U.S. airport?
My favorite, well, of the major airports, what was I was just thinking about that the other day. And I was just I was flying, going, why can't they all be like this? I can't remember where I was. Was it San Francisco or? I mean, I don't mind San Francisco. Leaving aside weather conditions, which means flights are often delayed. But um, what do you think? I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. U.S. airports are being renovated and a lot of Scotch tape and what's your favorite U.S. airport?
I think that Seattle is. It was weird arriving in Seattle internationally. I haven't done that in a while, and you have to go over this new big bridge, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I haven't done Seattle in years. Which, by the way, is the first in slot number 18 is the first to the top.
Right,
first U.S. airline in the top 20 list.
Yeah, so Seattle in and of itself has these satellites where you have to take trains between them, right? But so if you're going from the main terminal, it's convenient. What I like about Seattle is the same thing at what I like about Minneapolis, St. Paul. Is that they have restrictions of how that the vendors are not allowed to gouge people.
Right. True.
So it has to be the same price as it is downtown Minneapolis to go.
And we have moving sidewalks in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Some of those, I don't know if the one in Qatar does. I mean, I don't,
Yeah, they do, but it's if you're standing there like a dumpski on the moving sidewalk, it's going to take you 45 minutes to get in, right? It's not a ride. There's no animated pirates or anything like that coming. So, but anyways, I think that in the U.S., if I were to say the airport of choice, I think that Burbank is my favorite airport.
Well, I mean, small. I was excluding smaller airports. Yeah, I mean, Burbank.
I love Burbank. Literally, I timed it. I flew in. I got gate 1 when I flew in on Southwest last month to meet you in L.A.
Yeah.
And we were a little bit behind schedule. It literally took me 48 seconds from walking off the plane until I was out on the streets to get.
Well, but it's a small. We can't compare those to the ones we've been listing here. It's a small airport. Like saying Rochester.
You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Almost, right?
It's like saying Rochester, Minnesota is a great airport because it only takes 10 seconds to get through something. But it's not a big airport.
It's a substantial airport. Rochester, Minnesota. That's like one plane a day, right?
No, it's more than that.
All right.
All right. Let's look at Paris and London. There's supposed to be a rail strike in London on the 30th of March.
I didn't get anything from you on that.
I did send you a link to it.
I only got 3 things from you, and we've done them all.
Well, I got it right here. I've got it right here. Yeah, it's not important to show it. It's just a short item. You may have heard, if you're about to fly to London, that there's a rail strike in London on the 30th of March and the 1st of April. Today, on the 23rd of March, London Transport said, okay, we're not going on strike on the 30th of April and the 1st of May. So that's all you need to know. You don't need to see the news story or anything. You just need to know that if you're going to London, you're probably going to get lucky temporarily. But rail strikes can hit any time in London, but the one that was planned for weeks has now been canceled. In France, it's a crapshoot for everything, picking up the trash in the streets, getting to your hotel around the rioters or the protesters. Which most
I thought they were just tourists touring the building. No, was that?
Well, so far they're better behaved protesters than we had, in our debacle at the Capitol. But
but that's a sign that spring is around the corner. Strikes in France, that always happens every year. So
right, exactly.
and until they get 30-hour work weeks and get to retire at 50, it's going to keep going.
Yeah, I know. They just want to raise the entire retirement age from 52 to 54. I mean, come on, buck up. It's people are living longer these days. It's okay. You have more time to relax anyway. So
it's good to be French.
Right. Exactly.
You know what they say? Next to being a beautiful woman, being French is the thing to be.
Really? Is that what they say? I didn't know that.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
All right. I just made that up. All right. So let's go back to the regular scheduled things. So we have Gary was reporting today, or actually this is an older article, but I saw it show up today, that Air France is now letting you, there has been a lot of offers. I haven't personally got one. But I heard a lot of people are now getting you use miles, and it's like 50 to 60,000 miles to burn if you have a Flying Blue account, which is easily transferable from Chase or from American Express or from Capital One. You can transfer instantly point over to Flying Blue, and then you can use those miles to redeem. That's how you get Flying Blue or Air France KLM miles, their loyalty program. And it's about between 50 and 60,000 miles for a one-way from business class from the U.S. to Europe and vice versa.
Compare that to, say, Delta, 150,000 one way, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that's so American and United, mostly United, still have a kind of a fixed amount that you use. Delta is like all over the map, right?
Right.
And it's rare to find it. But for Air France, you can actually, the most funny part, you can redeem it on Delta as well. There are fares here. But what people have found is that they are booked in business class. And then I've seen it just in the last few weeks. People from Mexico City, from JFK, from San Francisco, they're booked on miles on Air France. And then when they check in, they get an offer to upgrade to the arguably the best first class in the world, La Première on Air France. And we've seen $1,700 one way. Seems like a lot of money, but here's the kicker. You also, then the ticket changes and you earn miles for it. And it's a lot of miles you earn. 20,000 from this report from Gary here, what miles was earned. So you're getting almost half of your miles back that you redeemed for that business class thing in the first place.
So you use 50 or 60 to get in business class, but
correct.
Then above business class is La Première.
La Première, just one row of seats. As you can see here, it also, French
like
people,
a bedroom.
Food and stuff they're really good at. Creativity, not so much, but here's brilliant. They are actually, instead of having doors, they just have a curtain that goes from floor to ceiling. So right. you have 100% privacy behind a curtain instead of those stupid doors that go halfway up.
So you lose 50 or 60,000 miles.
And a couple $1,000, maybe less if it's from JFK.
And then 1,700 to get from business into La Première.
Correct. 17 to 2,070 is what I've seen.
Which will give you almost enough miles to take another business class one way.
Half of
half of that, 20,000. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you have and also that it's cool, it's just one row. It's one seat and then two seats in the middle and one. So it's like one row only on the 777. So that's pretty darn exclusive.
Nice.
Yeah, so
okay, that's cool. Good to know. That's good to know.
Kidding. So here's like a consumer warning thing. I mean, we've seen a lot of people reporting on this right now. And I think that Ben is lucky on One Man at a Time is doing a really good job chasing after these scumbags. There has been websites selling airline elite status. There's the website airlinestatus.com. And today he reported that the day after he reported on airlinestatus.com, actually not the day after, right after he did, another site that looked like a spitting image of it, almost the same, but the same design, joindeluxe.com are popping up. So what are they doing? What are these scumbags doing? Well, they're offering, to get status on Delta or so either gold status or platinum status on Delta. And it's $99 every 3 months is what they're charging for the status. And then $250 to $300 setup fee. So how do they do it?
Is it legit?
No. Well, they are status matching you. Delta offers status match from gold medallion to gold medallion and platinum medallion, not to diamond, not their top tier. So what this company appears to be doing, I'm not going to say that that's exactly what's happening, but the best guess that I can do is I can see that they're making money by doing so the way that you do it when you do a status match is that you have a copy of your card, your status card, right?
For one airline where you have high status
to status match over to United, right?
Right.
And then you send a copy of your Delta Diamond card, and you send they will grant you status on United for 3 months, then where you have to fly within X amount for a period of time.
Right.
Right.
United's doing that
So
right now.
people have reported that they've gotten an email from Delta saying, hey, we've gotten your request for a status match and it's under review. And then you get upgraded to the status, but you pay $399 for something that you can do yourself for free. And also it's a scam because they are faking the status, to just making a card with your name and number on it. And that's obviously how it must be done. So I don't know if that's exactly what's happening here. I haven't done a test on it. I haven't given him my money. I'm not planning to. But with the number of report that has been shown here is that people are getting emails from Delta saying that they're enrolled in status match.
So this basically, these guys are really offering to basically put in your application for a status match, which you can do on your own, but they want a $300 fee to do it, and then and
$99 each month. I don't know how they get renewals after 3 months, because if you don't fly enough, if you don't have X amount of flight, they don't renew you. They kick you out of program again, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they don't give you the status for a year. They usually do it 3 months, and you have to fly X number of miles or spend X number of dollars in those 3 months to continue it for the year. But you don't need these bozos to help you if you're doing that.
No. All of these are up into the public. They also have American. There's a much higher fee because American charges a few $100 fee to do the matching, right? So they have a fee. So that's obviously how you see that it's status matching. If you look down in this post on 1 Mile at a Time, it was published today. You can see that they are offering American Executive Platinum.
I saw that.
A one-time set of fees higher. So if you look at these are the sites, airlinestatus.com, joindeluxe.com, I would say just stay away from that. Until they come out, if they have a better deal or if they sell it, first of all, it's too good to be true, if you ask me, to offer top tier on both 1K and Executive Platinum United for $99 a quarter. Is that what it is? $299 every 4 months is on United.
Yeah, American Executive Platinum is a one-time fee of $600 and a $299 fee every 4 months. So that's $1,200, and that's $1,800 for the year. But again, you're only going to get a few months when you apply, and if you don't fly American and meet the requirement, you're not getting the rest of the year, no matter how much you pay these guys.
If that's the way they do it, I think that's the gig. Yeah, absolutely. And we've had indications. There are multiple people that have reported that they have gotten emails from Delta saying that, hey, we've gotten your status match request. That's how that's is the best thing. That's the thing that they indicate. All indication pointed at. Until somebody proves me otherwise, that's what I'm going to be claiming.
Yeah, I wonder if they guarantee this. In other words, if you don't even get the status match, if they give you your money back. I don't know.
I don't know either. And also, that's another thing. A lot of people who have done the status match, Delta every 2 years, you're ineligible for another 2 years or 3 years or something like that.
Right. I think United's 3 years. I think I just got an offer on United the status match using my diamond. Oh, I can't do diamond. You're right. I can only do silver, gold, or platinum on Delta. You can't get 1K on United by using your diamond status to match. And anyway,
actually, there are unpublished programs where you can do that. We can talk about that one other week. So I thought it was kind of an interesting article. Matthew Clint, a friend of ours, you met Matthew, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Yep.
Yeah, I like Matthew Clint, and it has now been proposed and discussed by. So what we're seeing right now is Russia. I don't want to get into the politics of things, but I kind of a little bit I do. But we have all the U.S. carriers and also European carriers are banned from flying to Russia, right? So, but there are still, if we look at today. Let's go in and see right now how it's looking what the airspace live is looking at for the from Flight Radar 24 credits to them. There are planes going, so all the Chinese cargo is going over, and look at this guy, Turkish Airlines. They have increased the number of flights to Russia by tenfolds, and are now effectively the Russian flag carrier. They're flying more flights than anybody for international flights. So
Yep.
their flights are going, like a shuttle to and from. So they're obviously avoiding Ukrainian airspace, but they're also flying over Belarusian airspace as well. So
Right.
it's the middle of the night right now, but so obviously there's not a lot of a lot is funny because
Right.
but so what is proposed by the Biden administration is to ban all of the carriers who are flying to and from Russia, like Emirates, like
or even flying over Russia, right?
Exactly, and
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's going to be a thing right now. And Matthew Clint writes about it, extensively in this. This is like a opinion piece, right, or an analysis. Should
Right.
we ban Turkish Airlines, who is the number one offender here, and other carriers who are making money or paying Russia to fly over? What do you think?
Right. Well, I mean, it'll certainly hurt travelers who want to go to certain places using Turkish or Emirates. I mean, American travelers. I mean, U.S. travelers. A lot of our airlines don't fly to places that Turkish Airways flies to, so they'll be cut out of other options. I mean, I guess you could fly to Istanbul and then get a Turkish flight to some other place. They just wouldn't be allowed to land in the United States. It would hurt the revenue of a lot of airports, I guess.
I think that Turkish also would be banned from Europe at this. If we do it first, then the Europeans are also going to be doing it.
Well, that'd be a huge hit to Turkish Airlines, but I'm not going to worry too much about them. It's a very tough thing to do. It'll affect airports and their income stream and how many passengers go through and buy hot dogs at the hot dog place or Auntie's Donuts or whatever, pretzels, whatever the hell they are. I don't know. What do you think? I know you're not. I mean, I'm not big on Turkey because of Erdogan, but
I'm definitely not big on Turkey either. It's on my no list, and I think that Turkey is supposed to be an close ally of ours. We have our bases there. They're a member of NATO. They are supposed to be on our side,
on the team.
And I hope that they do it, because I mean the only way to if the airspace over Europe and airports in the U.S. and U.S. airports is still open for that Russians can still go on vacation. You'll see 24 Turkish flights a day go to like vacation spots in Turkey, in and out of Turkey. So literally the European hub for Russia has moved from being from Moscow to Istanbul.
Right.
If you're going to really turn the screws on Russia to get this war to be over, for them to back off and go home, then it has to really hurt. That means that the Russians should not be able to go on vacation. They should, in fact, the borders should be closed. The only place they should be able to go is to China and to North Korea. And I think that it's an abomination that it's happening. So I am welcoming this. I think that Turkish Airlines also, this is war opportunism. And that's how I feel about it.
All right. Well, I know the government is, by the way, I just sent you that email you said you didn't get with 3 of my items. Because one of the items I wanted to talk about was this teenager who died on an American Airlines flight because the defibrillator wasn't working. I just sent that to you, but
that's horrible.
Yeah, I can't get the piece because I looked at it once, and now Dallas Morning News wants me to subscribe to look at it again. But you may be able to look at it. Yeah, I mean that's the story. What else can I tell you? Their defib was not charged, was not juiced up. Nobody had checked the power thing. Terrible thing. Again, I sent you the link, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. That's the news item in 2 sentences. All right, what do you got up now? What's this?
Yeah, so I wanted to start a weekly thing. I wanted to do a weekly credit card review of the week, where we talk a little bit about a credit card that I use and I recommend to people to do. And we're not pushing credit cards here, and we don't make any money from this, but I personally wanted to start off with the gold card, the American Express gold card, and it's $250. $250 a year is the annual fee. And for the $250 a year, you actually get $10 a month Uber cash. So if you take Uber once a month, that knocks off almost half of it. And then you also get another benefit that you get is a credit for dining credit. It's a more restrictive credit than anything else. And as you know, I'm not really into this whole making a list and following and you know, I got to do this, I have to do credit here and all that.
Is this only so your restaurant has to participate in the American Airlines
Correct.
dining
And
program?
so it's Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, Gold Belly, which is, you know, I do order from them, so that would be good. Wine.com, Milk Bar, and select Shake Shack locations. $10 statement per a month. What you could just do if you like going to the Cheesecake Factory or any of these places, if you want to do Gold Belly, is you just buy a gift card from them, right? And then you'll have that to buy it, you know, have it pop up on your Outlook. And that effectively gives you the annual fee of $250 back. So why do I like this card? So first of all, it's 4x. So 4 times the membership reward points for dining anywhere in the world. So it used to be domestic, and I think also the business card, and we're going to look at that later, also has it domestically. But it is 4x. So you get 4 miles per dollar spent for dining. So it's the ultimate dining card. So if you go out to dinner, you get 4 times miles per dollar spent. That's the kicker number one. The other thing
that compares to most cards, which are either $1 or $2 max.
Yeah, well, there are cards that give 3, but most of them give 2 or
most
2
are 2. Most are 2.
Yeah,
most are 2 or 1. So this is twice as good. Yeah, you're right. I need to get a gold card. You keep telling me.
And also for groceries is also the best card. It's 4x. Also for groceries. So you go to the grocery store, you get 4 miles per dollar spent there as well, which in reality means, so there is a restriction up to 25,000. So if you spend more, if you spend more than $2,500 at supermarkets a year, you've got other problems, to be honest.
25,000.
Either that or you're a party lion, number one, and you entertain a lot. But
25,000. You said 2,500 a year. 25,000.
2,500 a month, so 25,000 a year.
Or
well, what am I saying? 25,000. Sorry, per year. Yes, that's the cap.
Okay.
So I have this in my wallet. I think that this is a great card, and we have there is no charge for an additional member. So Melinda is actually the primary holder on this card for us. I have it in my wallet. She used it in hers, and I think that this is definitely a 2 thumbs up card for those who dine a lot. And
what is this? I'm looking at you on my phone, so I can't quite see. What's the 3x one? On the
3x is flights booked directly with airlines or on AmexTravel.com. So if you do flights, it will beat the funny part. It'll beat any airline. So the best card you can get from an airline doesn't give 3x. Right. There might be some cards out there that does, but United and American does not.
And Delta does not.
This is not the card to get plane tickets. You'll see. We'll come to the American Express Platinum card on the left. We're going to talk next week about if it's worth it paying the $695 to have the American Express Platinum.
Yes, it's a debate I have with friends all the time.
And here we go. Well, you get your friends to tune in. They will get the answer next week. But I don't buy my plane tickets with this card. I buy them on the Platinum card because it's 5x.
What's with the Rose card? Is that the same benefits as the Gold?
Yeah, it's a Rosé Gold card, and that's the one we have. And it doesn't really look that Rosé in real life, but it's just you can order a special design, which is the Rosé Gold if you want to. You can either do Gold or you can do a Rosé Gold.
But everything's the same. All the perks are the same.
Correct. It's just a color. It got 2 different colors.
Okay. All right.
So that's and right now I do think that the 60,000 points for signing up, which, the 60,000, it's funny because they have a transfer bonus very often, as you know, up to, if you transfer miles from American Express membership rewards to Flying Blue, there's often a 30% or 25% or even 50%. So it varies. Mostly it's like 25 to 30% extra points you get for transferring over to Flying Blue. So if you transfer this over to Flying Blue, that's actually almost enough for a round trip ticket in business class just for signing up for this card to Europe.
Good point. All right.
That's all I have for today.
All right. Today being March 23rd, Thursday in the year 2023. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or any other place you might watch this later, remember what we're talking about today is to the best of our knowledge, accurate as far as March 23rd, 2023. Thanks for joining Tommy and me. Want to sign up for my free newsletter? It's very erratic. I don't sell anything. It doesn't cost anything. Just
wait a minute. You haven't done that newsletter in a month.
I know. I'm doing another one. I'm doing it. I promise. Go to Maxa. That's what we don't flood anybody's email. They're happy with that. Just go to maxatours.com or /newsletter, or go to maxatours.com and scroll down to the bottom of the page. First name, last name, email you're in. And you can also look at some of the tours that Tommy and I run in Europe. I think we've got a couple openings left on a Scandinavian tour this summer.
We had that tour that we have in June, June 18th. We had it was full, but we actually had 3 couples who were traveling together to pull off of that one. So if you out there know somebody who wants to go with us to Scandinavia, June 18th. There will be a bottle of your favorite poison coming in the mail if you can help us with that, because all of a sudden that sold out tour was not sold out anymore.
Great, and it's a great tour. Great tour.
It sure is. I love the Scandi tour.
8 tours long. 8 days long.
9 nights, 10 days long.
9 nights, and what's the date? It starts June 17th.
June 18th. And it goes from Stockholm, and the way that we get from Stockholm to the west coast of Norway is by plane. We're in Bergen, and in the Fjord country, and then we go by train to Oslo, the capital, and then we take an overnight ferry in Commodore class when we're done exploring. Then you get to see all the wee-wees and pee-pees at the Vigelands Park in Oslo too. How about that?
It's a great tour. It's a great
tour. It's a great tour. It's not open for Floridians, though. We got to make sure that they
don't want to go to that park in Norway.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, nice talking to you. Nice talking to our friends.